Let's talk about this gear.
Yes, let's do it.
You've been a Pearl endorser or Pearl player since you were a young kid, right? Did I read that correctly? Since you were 8 years old or so?
I've been playing Pearl that long,
Okay.
but I've been an endorser, an artist for them since like 2013. So,
Okay.
Of course, I would have loved to be an endorser as a kid, but you know.
So what brought you to the brand when you were that young?
Well, I always, I don't know, I looked in magazines all the time. I always looked at all sorts of different kits, and Pearl was the one that always just stuck out to me as, I don't know, the prettiest kit in the magazine, you know.
Okay.
And so I had, there was a Pearl Forum kit. I didn't have big expectations as a kid. I just wanted a good drum set,
Right.
and so I wasn't, looking at the top of the line Pearl kits in the magazine thinking that's what I need. But I saw this Pearl Forum kit, and it was a great entry-level kit. Came with stands and cymbals and a throne and everything, and I couldn't take my mind off of it, and I cut it out and posted it up on my bulletin board, and that was the kit I looked at every single day and really wanted, and I ended up getting a Forum kit in red wine, and
Nice.
it was my little baby.
Very good. So now getting up to today's modern kits, Pearl gives buyers out there a great choice from, in price points from low end. I hate the word low end, but less expensive kits all the way up to like what you're sitting behind there.
I like to use the word affordable.
There you go. That's a good word.
Because some people say oh, that's a cheap drum set, but it's not cheap
No, it's
because
not
it's
cheap.
made super well, but it's affordable.
Right.
And that's the way I usually like to describe it. And for me, I like to play affordable drum sets. Now, today I'm playing a more higher tier drum set over here. This is the Music City Custom Reference Pure Kit, and I mean, that is pretty much about as high as it gets on the totem pole there. But then you're over there behind the Decade Maple, and that's my normal level of kit that I like to play in the videos because it's something that is a great deal. It's an amazing kit for an amazing price, and it's something that I'm proud to play because when I show people it, I'm not saying oh hey, I know you probably can't afford this drum set, but it's really great. Instead, it's oh hey, this is a drum set you can go to the store, and if you're looking to buy a new drum set, this is probably about the price range you're looking for if you're trying to stay affordable. And man, those Decade Maples are awesome.
They really are. And I did a video on not this configuration. It was more like a 22-inch kick drum and typical 2 up, 2 down. Yeah, and it was a great drum set. Played along to some tracks, and it really sang. And definitely gave back to my side on the drum throne side. It's really good.
Yeah, I mean, those are stock heads over there on it right now.
Yeah, stock heads and everything. Yeah, you bet. Sounds great.
It does. So this kit that I'm sitting behind right now, as I said, is a Music City Custom Reference Pure Kit. And I mean, you were the one that actually got to go to the studio, to Nashville, the headquarters, and you helped and watched them put this thing together.
They built that exact kit for me.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the cool thing about the new Music City Custom from Pearl is that it used to only be exclusive for their artists, that shop that they have, the custom shop. But now they've opened it up to everybody, and so you can actually go and pick out your own colors and your own finishes and your own drum sizes and your own hardware and everything, and they put together your exact desired kit. So that's really awesome. I mean, that's for the price point and for the quality of these drums to be able to do something so custom and so great. I mean, that's beautiful. And they have a 2-week turnaround time on those things. So you order it and they promise you 2 weeks. So that's pretty impressive.
I dig the fact that you have on the higher toms you have maple and birch. If you get really 8-inch, 12-inch is the only maple drum, and it gets to add some mahogany into the bigger drum. So you really kind of customize the sound of each drum for its application, which is really cool. So the big drums are going to sound big and warm, and the higher drums are going to sound bright and punchy. It's good.
Instead of having that one, this is the shell configuration for the entire kit, it's that custom recipe per drum that's been tried and tested by so many different artists. So
cool.
That's awesome. But besides that, we've got a mismatch array of Zildjians back here that we were just pulling out of the studio.
Right, but you've been a Zildjian player for quite a while too now, right? You love...
Oh, yes.
Zildjian is your brand.
Man, Zildjian, that was probably as much or even more than Pearl. Zildjian A Customs were the thing. It was it's like your bling, man, or something. As a kid, growing up, looking at all these players playing A Customs, it was that's what I want. I want my kit to shine like that. I want it to look that pretty. And I finally got some A Customs one day, and it was I literally would clean them before every single time I played them and clean them after every single time I played them, and they just that was the spotlight in a lot of my videos.
Sure. And we're both, you have 15s, I think, over there, and I got regular 14s. We're both playing new beat hi-hats.
Yeah.
And new beats are probably the most recorded hi-hat cymbals ever.
Yes.
They've been on hit records since the 60s. You know, so they've been around a long time. So, and we have got some of the Avitus here, K's, K Dark, even a Constantinople over there. So yeah, there's a lot of good tones in Zildjian cymbals. You can get pretty much anything you need.
My favorite cymbal from Zildjian in terms of overall versatility is in that A series, and it's the 23-inch Sweet Ride.
Yeah.
Man, the wash on it, the definition, the bell, like all of it just sings. And
very cool.
I love that cymbal.
And what about heads?
Always Remo. I am a big fan of the pinstripe clears on the toms. I love the attack, and I think that it gives me a great attack and a great sound for the durability, because I'm a heavy hitter, and so like if I were playing thinner or single ply drum heads, then I'm changing my drum heads out like every time I play. And so having that durability and that sound from those toms is great. My favorite head on the snare right now is a coated Power Stroke 77, and that's a newer one from Remo that like it was the Emperor X coated, and now it's the Power Stroke 77 that I cannot, like, if I want to put a drum head on a snare drum, that's what I'm going to put on there.
And you're a Vic Firth player.
Yes.
Great sticks. I played Vic Firth for many, many years. But you have some different ones that I personally haven't seen. They may have been out for a while, but I haven't seen the carbon fiber ones that you're playing right now.
Yeah, so these are the Vic Firth Titans, and so they are made of aerospace grade carbon fiber. And what's cool about them is that they can be made to an exacting specification, so that every single time you get a pair of these sticks, it weighs like the same amount. It feels exactly the same, because it's not dependent on the wood that it's made from. You know, a normal
tree and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah.
A normal stick has that range that's acceptable. Like there's a lighter version of the range and there's a heavier version of the range. So you may get a pair of 5Bs that's a little heavier, and then your next pair is a little bit lighter. And it's not because the quality is not there. There's that range, but it's just like that's what happens with wood. And so it's
right. It depends which part of the tree. If it's closer to the center or closer to the outside of the near the bark and all kind of stuff, yeah, they'll weigh a little bit different.
And so these are they're a little more expensive, but they last a lot longer. I mean, I've been playing these sticks for weeks now, and that doesn't happen with sticks for me. Like wood sticks, I might play if I'm playing a lot in a day. I could go through a pair of wood sticks. So. I always keep these in my bag as a backup. If I run out of anything else, then I know that these are going to hold up for the gig. So you can check it out over there.
Yeah, they got a good feel to them. They're not too heavy at all. Nice balance point.
Yeah,
they feel good. And the tip sounds really good on cymbals too. Yeah, it's nice.
It does.
Very
I like
cool.
it.
All right.
As always, like especially with these sticks, you want to play with good technique on the cymbals, because since these don't take as much of the force from the hit, you can hurt your cymbals more if you're playing like improperly, like directly into them. And so that's one of the things that everyone's always scared about with these sticks. They're like, oh man, if they don't break, they're supposed to break, because if they break, then it saves your cymbals. But these will chip up a little bit, and they do have some give to them. But you want to always try and sweep and play with proper technique.
Very good advice.
But yeah, so that's
cool.
That's my gear.
All right, man. Thanks for the info.
Thanks for asking.
Run around, throwing that dirt all on my name. 'Cause you knew that I'd call you up. You've been going around every party else. 'Cause you knew that